Hello, everybody, and welcome back to some more Black Series Star Wars, or Star Wars the Black Series, whatever you want to call it. I'm a loosely Black Series collector. I don't try to buy as many of these, but every now and then I do purchase a few, at least characters that I'm interested in, or characters I know about. Characters with cool designs and whatnot. But for sure, always armored characters such as clone troopers and like Mandalorians, I tend to seek out a little bit more. Simply because they look cool. As I'm not a Star Wars super fan and know all the lore and knowledge, why does my opinion and review matter? Because I don't have as much I guess experience with Star Wars, especially when it comes to the Black Series. I just see it as an outsider coming into your community and giving their opinion on it. But enough rambling. As you can see here, we've been seeing the Phase 1 Clone Trooper spinning in all its glory, and he does have a read up if you guys want to read up on him. So Phase 1, there's some nice art there, and pretty standard packaging for the Black Series. It is in red. The coloring there and the side art there looks very cool. And then you have a little window at the top. So yeah, nice packaging that we've all love and know. Let's get right into it. And as you can see here, I do have two of them. I was lucky enough to, go figure hunting for a little bit at a few GameStops. And yeah, for the most part, I found 2 out of 3 GameStops. Yeah. So I found 2 of them in 2 separate GameStops. They only had one. And like I said, I went to 3 GameStops, but only 2 of them had one. So I don't know. I think that's pretty good, hunting when it comes to troopers, and especially clone troopers, because they're very popular. A lot of people seek these out. I don't know how rare they will be, in the near future. So at least getting 2 of them is a bonus for me. It's a plus. But with that being said, in the packaging, you can see we get 2 rifles and the helmet separately there. And so these are nothing new or nothing too, how would you say it? Nothing too special. Just the standard rifle molded in the black plastic, and you can see some of the glitteriness in it. I don't know, I feel like if we added a little bit of scratches, small details, or a little bit of weathering, these rifles wouldn't be as bland. But this is a very sort of shiny clone trooper, so they haven't seen battle yet, especially since they're Phase 1. So it kind of makes sense to have super clean weapons. They are just about to get deployed. But even then, other clone troopers would benefit from a bit more weathering in the weapons. And this is the carbine, I believe, is what it's called in the Star Wars universe. But yeah, basic mold that many people have seen. And the figure itself, you're a casual clone, let me know that this is a brand new body mold for clone troopers. And I was aware, that there is a new mold. I just didn't know which one, on which figures it was being used, and apparently this is one of them. So the new, molding has separate knee pads, which, some people like, some people hate, and separate sort of elbow pads. I think the elbow pads are separate too. Should be able to shift up and down, unless it's stuck on these, but I don't think so. They seem to be, yeah, they can shift up and down as well. Articulation, pretty standard for Black Series. He can look up a good, decent amount, and then he can look down rather well. You can't see his chin. I know that's a complaint with the Phase 2 Clone Troopers, is that you could see the bottom chin, but not with these guys. And you do have that removable helmet, which, when it comes to the helmet, I know some people have their preferences. Kind of a hard word to say right now, but I don't know how accurate or what's the correct way of painting these. Other reviewers have said that the black brow going across the top is inaccurate or something like that. I'm not too sure. Again, I'm an outsider in reviewing these things. But you get the silver going around. There's a bit of a paint mishap there. Not the greatest. Some more black detailing here. You do get the red for the antenna there on the back, which is very nice. But yeah, I think overall it's sculpted well. And I like that you have the grill paint in there for the mouthpiece. But yeah, I think for the most part it looks good. And it fits on top of his head sculpt very well, so no issues there. Arms can go out about that much. You do have a bicep swivel, a single jointed arm there. And does it have, I assume it has the swivel. Yeah, it has some swivel. This arm has a trigger finger, but it is a vertical hinge, so it can go up and down, and of course it swivels. And this other side is a horizontal hinge, but it also has a trigger finger and it swivels. He can crunch forward about that much, back, pivot, and rotate, rock. He can kick about that much. He does have a thigh swivel, single jointed knee there, and it also swivels. And then if you go back, forward, and ankle pivot in there. So yeah, overall, pretty standard for a clone trooper, but you get some good range with it. The shoulder pads are attached to the shoulder there, sort of a ring inside there, so it goes with the shoulder, so no issue there either. Closer look at the head sculpt here. You can see that nicely sculpted head sculpt and some painted scars, so that looks good. The eyes look good. The eyebrows, mine seems to be missing something there, a little bit of paint. I do see a lot of a glossiness, but I don't think it's as glossy as I've seen in some of other people's videos. I don't know if that's just due to lighting, but I mean, you can see some of the shininess in it, but it's not as drastic as other videos I've seen. So I don't know if it's just different glossiness throughout different figures, but I guess we could compare with that one once I take it out of its packaging. Alright, so here's my second trooper out of his packaging, and for the most part, this is the first one I opened up, and yeah, you can see the paint apps there coming to this end there, are kind of missing there, and here it is complete. And we get that red for the antenna on the back still, and the front still looks rather decent to me. Oh, a little bit of a lopsided on this one. You can see how thin the white is there, and the black kind of just touches the visor there, whereas here it's much cleaner going all the way through. So a little bit of paint mishaps for both of these. Nothing too big of a deal for me. I really don't care unless you notice are very picky and are just up close on everything and noticing all the flaws. But again, the glossiness, not too much on the second one, kind of the same for the, they're equally glossy, but yeah, for the most part, they're not as glossy as others I've seen, so I don't know if there's a difference in factory or whatnot, but yeah, I don't mind the amount of glossiness that we're getting here. And just to show you guys a comparison with a few other clone troopers, I don't have that many, but I have a few AliExpress knockoffs, and I think like only a few official ones. All right, so struggling to get them to stand side by side. Here we have, I believe it's the Coruscant guards, you know, these red clone troopers. And then we have, oops, a shock trooper, I believe, also from Coruscant. You can see the heights there. This is the knockoff from AliExpress. This is an official Hasbro one, I think. Yeah. Oh my god, this guy cannot stand for the life of me. Can you, like, stand and not fall over the place? Thank you very much. But you can see, you know, the heights and whatnot, and putting on the helmet there. You can see the armor types and heights. But yeah, I mean, they look good together. This is timeline-wise not accurate, but that's the only other troopers I have here to compare to. But yeah, I like the look of the Phase 1 helmets. I really do. So I may be on board with your casual clone in that, you know, this Phase 1 trooper helmet just looks the best. I mean, I like Phase 2, but there's something about this one. I don't know. It just looks a little more... I don't know how to describe it. It just looks a little bit better, you know, because, you know, from this, they just moved on to Stormtrooper helmets. This is a little more unique with that fin going on the top. But those are my thoughts, and that is my review on these guys. Alright, so if you guys enjoyed this video and, you know, stuck through the entire video, let me know what you guys think of these figures. Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in a future video. Overall, I think they're great figures.